You are now listening to Mike's Opinion, Logic Unleashed.
That's right. You're now listening to the Mike's Opinion podcast. Thank you so much for listening. This week's offering is another best of show. If you listened to the show last week, at the beginning, you know I'm still going through it. Still am. I wanted to drop something this week. So this is one of the most popular episodes. It's about R. Kelly. It's almost 2 years old, this episode, and it just made me think, wow. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I thank all of you for your support, truly. I really do. If you do want to continue to support, or for the first time, even go to the show notes, you can find out how to support me through social media and also financially if you choose to. It'd be greatly appreciated. You can see, or actually you can hear the growth if you listen to my latest episode prior to these last two and this R. Kelly episode. The audio things that I've learned, the production things that I've learned, just trying to grow, and trying to make the show better. So enjoy this very controversial episode. And as always, you can reach me at mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. And that's in the show notes as well. Also, you can hit me up on any of the socials. You can find me, just type Mike's Opinion into any search engine. And let me know how you feel about this episode. There were some strong opinions before. Surely there will be again. I truly appreciate all of you. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the MO Show. This is Mike, and this is Mike's Opinion. Hopefully you listened to my introduction. This is show 2, episode 2, number 2, whatever you want to call it. And it's March 2019, and R. Kelly is going to be the subject that I will attempt to focus on. If you listen to my introduction, that you know that I digress. That's probably what I should name the show. I digress. I may do a spin-off show. Of course, somebody will probably steal it, so who knows? I don't know. Anyway, R. Kelly is a popular subject these days. He was recently arrested. Seems like he had trouble posting $1 million bond, which all you need is $100,000 for those affiliated with the legal system. Whatever your bond is, typically you have to post or actually give 10% of that bond. But he got out, went to Mickey D's, supposedly at Mickey D's where he's picked up girls before. Who knows? This is my opinion. This is Mike's opinion on R. Kelly. So, around R. Kelly's age, I think. Like I said, I'm early 50s, if you heard my introduction, and I think Kel's is around there, late 40s, early 50s. I don't know. I could look it up, but I'm not going to at the moment. Because it really doesn't matter per se, but he's in the same area of age. And I don't know that he's 100% wrong. Hold on. Hear me out. Okay. We all like young, fresh things in the United States of America. New cars, new clothes, fresh fruit. Magazines still exist. I don't know how long they will, but paper, hold in your hand, physical magazines. It's been known for a long time. Go to a grocery store, magazine stand. Look at how many magazines are there, and then look at how many females are there that are between the ages of, 13 and 18. They sell magazines. I wonder why. And there's no secret that in America we're obsessed with youth. Everybody's trying to get more youthful. Take away your wrinkles on your eyes, wrinkles on your forehead, Botox, get your lips puckered up, get your booty, get your waist down. All of this stuff, right? To look younger, to look younger, to appear younger and more youthful. We are obsessed with youth. So on that note, what is wrong with a man wanting to keep fresh punani? I'm trying to keep my podcast non-vulgar, right? My introduction, I didn't use any curse words. I'm trying not to use any curse words here. Excuse me. Even though this will be for adult subject matter. I don't know if you can listen to this with your kids, but if you do, they won't listen. They won't hear much profanity. I haven't said any yet. Don't know how long I can say that. But as a man in his early 50s, like I said, I still appreciate a young girl. Now, listen, there's a clear difference between a rapist and a pedophile versus someone that has an appreciation for youthful appearances. It's that simple. Okay? I may say a young girl who may be eyeing me, by the way, and I'll get to that in a moment, because age is not a prerequisite to maturity. Everyone is different, but I'll get to that in a minute. But if you're that dude hanging out at the park looking at 8-year-olds with a bunch of balloons, a puppy, and a giant lollipop talking about getting a van, yeah, okay? I'm not that dude. I don't think Kells is that dude. I do not think R. Kelly is that guy, okay? But I have been many places in public where a 14, 15, 16-year-old will be looking at me because I'm still fly, okay? I'm relatively in shape. I keep myself presented together. And to each his own. Beauty's in the eye of the beer holder, as they say. But, and they are the aggressor. Now, you can say there's many reasons for that aggression. Maybe they're abused. Maybe they are a sexual prodigy. There's so many things. That's why I wanted to do my podcast, because I think differently. There's things that I've never heard said. Has anybody ever given a thought that just like the prodigies that are, can play piano at a very young age, or the mathematician, or the Doogie Howsers? Those that don't know who Doogie Howser is, it was an old show where it was a very young person that was a doctor who were talented. Those that are cooking, there's the Ramsay guy, Gordon Ramsay show with the little chefs, right? That are cooking, these little amazing cooks, right? I couldn't cook like that when I was that age. There are some that have the talent. There are those that are more sexually advanced at an early age. What do they do with that? Okay? In America, you can still marry a 14-year-old, and it used to be commonplace. Okay, let's make no mistake. It used to be commonplace. And there are those 14, 15, 16-year-olds that can handle it. Not only can they handle it, they thrive in that. And as an older man, now my wife is younger than I am by 12, 13 years. Okay. But, she's no teenager, but nevertheless, I appreciate that. Okay. I appreciate that. And please, I don't even know if I'll read comments or letters, but if you decide to write to me, if you're an older woman, there are some older women that have aged like a fine wine and it's still tight and taut down there. You've kept it well. and your body is just blessed by either putting in that work in the gym and eating right, or it's just genetics, for whatever reason. So please, I have nothing against women of any age. I love women. Okay? Love them. But if little Shaniqua, little 17-year-old, or Heather, or whoever is looking at me and she ready, I just might. I'm not going to prison for no sexual activity. I don't care how fine you are. Okay? But I'll flirt with you, I'll talk to you. And that's probably as far as it's going to go. Because legally I can't. Okay? Legally I can't. And the law confines me. And I'll speak on the law in another podcast. Anyway, like I said, I digress a lot, but stick with me. Okay. I'm not that dude trying to say get in the van, but I can understand Robert Kelly's fondness for young women. Now the specifics, I don't know if true. I don't know him. I've never been to his house. I don't know anything about the specifics. I know what I've heard. I know what seemingly videos have portrayed. Urinating on women, which is degradation. Some people are into that. There's a whole lifestyle, BDSM, look it up, of people that crave to be urinated on. Okay? You may not understand it, but don't judge people because you may like scrambled eggs. Somebody may not like eggs at all. Does that make them a bad person? No. And the depth of that, we always want to talk about this, mental health. What do you know about mental health? What's healthy? Healthy is what somebody who wrote a book or many books or community says, this is healthy. Well, humans have a history of unhealthy behavior. There's something I believe that may be fundamentally wrong with human beings from the beginning of what we know as time. So, because, and people are into a whole lot more than just urinating. Okay. There's a world of what is considered filth out there. Okay. But I mind you, urination can also be used to fertilize your garden. Did you know that? Some people use it. Supposedly it's a very effective fertilizer. So, these things that we call bodily waste may not be waste at all. I'm deviating. I'm digressing. Yes, I know. Anyway, so, that makes him feel like a man. I don't know. I'm not personally into it. I have no need to do that in my sexual activity, but I'm not judging him or what he wants to do or the people that want to indulge in that. So now, if any of these girls are held against their will, if any of these girls are raped, or any of these girls not willing participants, then it's possible that that's wrong. And I say it's possible only because what is the raw, ultimate nature of the relationship between a male and a female? Why are males physically built stronger and can conquer a woman? Just on generally speaking, I know these days we got the buff workout women and they packing heat and shooting guns and all kinds of stuff. But if you go back to nature, to more primal days, I saw you, I dominated you, I captured you, we reproduce, I feed you, I house you, I protect you. In turn, you give me children and you take care of our family. That was the basic fundamental nature of it. I don't think age played much into it. And I don't know if us cavemen or, anywhere in between there, if we did like dogs and, smelled your armpits or your booty and said, you smell good. I'm going to take you back to my cave. I don't know. Perhaps. But what I do know is that's why I said it might be wrong. Maybe women are pissed because they don't want to be women. They don't want to play their role. They want to be equal. They want to play football. They want to pad up, put on a helmet. Please. Okay. A flower can't be a rock. Be a flower. A flower, better analogy. A flower can't be a tree. It's delicate. It'll blow away in the wind. The tree can fall on it and crush it. Be the flower. Okay. But when it comes to R. Kelly, I understand. Okay. It's commonplace, right? If you want more than one woman, especially in America, if you want more than one woman, you're a dog. You're a slime bucket. You're not a man, and there's multiple factors involved, one of them being religion. People are beat in their head for the first 7-8 years of their life. This is your religion because this was your parents or guardians, whoever raised you, religion, right? They don't even question it, and they become so devout because of it. And there's a world of religion out there. Catholicism, the Muslim faith, the Indian faith from India. The Jehovah Witnesses, the evangelists, the Baptist, Methodist, Latter-day Saints. There's just so many, right? And the people are devout. They choose to grasp on that, and you better not question it. This is my belief, and if you question it, you're questioning me as a human. And who does any of us know if it's right? No, you don't. You know what you choose to believe. So I'll delve on that on another podcast as well. But we think this is wrong because of what we're told. But if you choose to think about it, think freely. The attraction between a man and a woman of any age is natural. Now, once again, or I think I haven't said this, so I can't say once again, but post-puberty, there's a term called prepubescent. What age is that? 11, 12? I think puberty is a signal that you are ready for sexual activity. Okay? 16 years old, you can wield a deadly weapon, otherwise known as a vehicle. But she can drive a vehicle, but I can't want to look at her boobies? That's criminal. Aghast. I can't believe you. Oh, how could he even say that? Told you in my introduction, there are things you may not agree with. I'm just telling you my opinion. This is my opinion. That 16-year-old might be ripe and ready. Okay? And if I'm going to treat her tenderly and teach her and expose her to the wonderful world of sex and making love and feeling, touching, it can't all be wrong. Right? I have a question for you. When did you lose your virginity? And how did it happen? Was it wonderful and lovely? Was it exciting? Was it horrible, painful, and traumatic? I dare say for most females, and once again, it goes back to the nature of things. You break that hymen, it's painful. Now, some people use diversionary tactics. They bite the ear or make a distraction before they know they're going to make that insertion. But sex is painful for a woman on the first time, maybe more than the first time. But that's nature. There's nothing you can do to stop that. Okay, there's a layer of skin in the vagina that is there. It's called a hymen. It exists. And That is ripping a part of your body to gain entry deeper into your vagina. Okay? It's primal, it's nature, and that's nobody's fault, right? So, women suffer on many levels, and maybe they were born to. Okay? Maybe they were born to serve man. I know the Holy Bible, the Quran, there are passages there that, encourage women to obey. Right? There are characters in the Holy Bible that, I believe the Quran too, that were condoned and had multiple wives. Okay? So, I dare you to think. I dare you. Think outside the box. Don't be a societal conformist. So R. Kelly likes young girls. And I've had debates with some of my buddies. Ain't no thing, 18-year-old girl can't do nothing for me. And like I said, I'm in my early 50s, so most of my buddies around that age are a little older, but, can't no young girl do nothing for me. I'm like, brother, please. You got to be kidding me. That young, tender, smooth skin, no stretch marks, no blemishes. They smell different. They look different. Okay? Do you remember when you were a teenager and you were dating another teenager? How that felt? There's a reason why these police stings happen consistently, year in, year out, and they keep catching people trying to hook up with young people. Because it's wonderful. I was young once. I remember what it felt like. So, those that condemn and judge, want to throw those stones in the glass house, those without sin, you cast that first stone. Okay? Because we've all done something wrong. There's no perfect person. We've all sinned. And that includes thoughts, supposedly, if you subscribe to Christianity, right? Those thoughts are evil in themselves, just as bad as carrying out the act. So, don't be so quick to judge. Where happened to Mercy left the planet? Mercy left the United States. There's nobody that's merciful anywhere. There's no forgiveness. We want to persecute. And I think we're over caffeinated. I think the diet, I think the electrical signals, I think there's a variety of reasons why we have become so aggressive. But once again, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. You know what's new? The ability to communicate these things instantly across nations and continents. Something happens in Egypt. 30 minutes later, I know about it with audio and video. So I don't know if they had that any time in our history. It's possible. They've dug up things. Who knows what has existed before. But as of right now, that's the thing that's seemingly different. The instantaneous communication. So, before you condemn R. Kelly as this pedophilic imbecile, ask yourself if you remember what it felt like to feel the flesh of a teenager in a sexual capacity. How it smelled, tasted, felt, what it looked like to you. And so 14, 15, 16, 17, right? Not legal. 18, it's legal. 21's definitely legal, right? So 52. If I'm doing my grocery shopping, because I'm one of those who still likes going to the store, okay, I'm not that busy where I can't go squeeze a few tomatoes before I put them in my cart and just click, and have them delivered and picked out by somebody else. Okay, that's just my preference. But that's just me. So I think you need to ask yourself that. When's the last time that you really reminisced about that? If you're my age or older, younger, whatever your age is, but 18-year-olds can go out and get shot and killed for our country in the sake of American freedom. They can't come home and have a drink. That's dumb. In my opinion, this is Mike's opinion. Okay? But that's dumb. Doesn't make any sense. You can go shoot and be shot at, lose limbs, be murdered, but you can't come home and have a sip. Right? Same thing, I think, sexually. If there's a natural attraction, mutual attraction between a younger person and an older person, who are we to say it's wrong? I tell you what part of the problem is. Part of the problem is we think all teenagers are idiots. They're not. Teenagers are not idiots. They may be inexperienced, but they're not idiots. I know a lot of you will disagree with this, and it's okay. I respect your right to disagree. And I'm going to talk about homosexuality, but that's one of the things with gay people. Like, you can't say nothing against gay people, right? Freedom of speech means I have the right not to like it. And I'm not saying I don't like gay people, but there's people that have the right not to like anything. And I know it's crazy, but even those racist. And this is about R. Kelly, and why am I talking about racism? Because it's all connected. Grammy Award winning singer, rap artist, Lauryn Hill had a song called Everything is Everything, and it resonated with a lot of people. And that's because it's all connected, y'all. Everything is connected on a multitude of exponential factors. And this talk about R. Kelly is no different. It's true. It's all connected. R. Kelly likes women. I've never heard anything about him being gay, so he likes young girls. Lately, they say they're keeping him, in his house, locked up, no cell phones. And it sounds like he's engaging in alternative lifestyle, the BDSM lifestyle. And there are those that enjoy that, even though you can't relate to it. There are submissive subs. There are slaves. There are masters. There are dominants. There are switches. There's a whole world out there of people that crave pain. There's sadists and masochists out there. There are people out there that like being tied up and beat. It stimulates them sexually, mentally. Now, why that is? Some of it may be sinister. They may have been abused. There may be a multitude of reasons why they crave that. But in their adult lives, they crave it, and some not even adults, pre-adults that crave to be controlled, crave to be spanked. Like, that's their thing. What do you like? Is there anything unorthodox that you like? Like, do you like to put cream cheese on your eggs? Right? Okay. Maybe you still like to bite your toenails for the flexible folks out there. I don't know. I used to watch the show. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but many years ago, I saw this show where people like to do weird things. And this one lady used to like eat. She used to like to eat paper. She ate paper like on a regular. Okay. Different strokes for different folks. Sounds cliche, but who are we to judge? Now, once again, if he's holding these girls against their will, if he's subjecting them to unwelcomed physical activity, even if he's brainwashing and coercing, then it's definitely wrong. And if that's what he's doing, then it's wrong. It's wrong. However, if any of these girls welcome this, or they're willing to welcome this in exchange for being kept, or fame or fortune or an opportunity to become the next star. It's a mutual agreement, right? Then we should stay out of it. But in today's persecution society, as I'm sure I will get a backlash for this, I'm not afraid to say it. This is Mike, and this is Mike's opinion. I'm not afraid to say it. This is just my opinion. It's how I see things. Told you in my introduction, I don't think like the rest of people. I'm not afraid to say what I really feel and what I really think. And I think, as a matter of fact, I'm certain it's a hypothesis. It's not just some foolish thought. You know, hypothesis is an educated guess. I'm experienced enough and smart enough and intelligent enough to have come to these conclusions, these opinions of mine. But once again, I just offer these as my opinion. This is just the way I see it. You have the right to disagree or agree. But I still appreciate the little girls on the magazines. And I don't want to call them little girls because that does sound perverse. Okay. But the younger females, I'll put it that way. Okay. There's a saying that goes, I don't know who said it, but it says, I didn't make it up, but it says 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy. And the insinuation was that they would engage in sex with anybody that meets those qualifications. 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy. Now, once again, 8, you ain't hit puberty yet. You haven't hit puberty yet. I think that's too young. But if you have hit puberty, what, 14? There's a range, I would imagine. I don't know the medical range, but there's a range there, where for females, you know, the boobies pop out, the menstrual cycle starts, you know, the hair on the legs and stuff grows. For the males, their testicles drop, their voice deepens, they get hair in random places. I think we need to reconsider that. And that's why it's still legal, of course, with parental consent for teenagers to, marry much older people. Now, this is just in the United States. I live in the United States, born and raised in the United States. Other parts of the world, far different. Far different. Leaning towards the older man and the younger woman thing is commonplace. You know, there's a lot of places on this planet today, planet Earth, where there are marriages that are arranged. Okay? The young lady has no say. Who your parents say you're going to marry, that's it. Okay? I read a story recently in Mexico. 10-year-old gave birth. 10. Okay? Doubt that she had hit puberty. I'm pretty sure that most likely was not a consensual endeavor. It's wrong. I think that's wrong. And there, yes, I mean, you know, I think there are lines. Okay? I'm saying if you've hit puberty, it's a good possibility you may be ready. And once again, there are sexual prodigies. I want to ask another question. When did you discover your genitalia? At what age did you start touching it and correlated that it felt good? You correlated good feelings. When I touch this area, that feels good. Okay? Once again, to summarize what I'm saying, I'm trying to keep on my podcast 20, 30 minutes. I don't know. Maybe I need to delve deeper or go longer, but, post initial puberty, consensual, and mutual. Those are prerequisites that I think need to be in place. Just because someone is 14, 15, 16, 17 years old does not mean they're not able and capable of making a decision to want to be involved sexually, especially at 16. Okay, I just read an article just today. and that, another teacher, older female teacher, was having sex with her middle school student. I think it was 13 or 14. And she was in her late 20s or early 30s. And this happens regularly. Are all these people that have sex with teenagers defective? Or are we, or not we, but those that immediately persecute people without knowing all the facts? Are those the defects? Or are we as humans as a whole just defective? I remember the first Matrix movie, the monologue by the Agent Smith, I think his name was. That humans are a virus of the planet, that we are the problem. Maybe that's true. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is sex is primal. It's natural. And done with the slightest amount of care and tenderness, it can be wonderful. And I think, age is not as relative to it. Post-puberty, of course. Once your body is ready. And a lot of teenagers are silly. I'm still kind of silly. I like silly stuff. I like going to amusement parks. I like having, fun. I haven't let that, the kid inside of me, the Peter Pan inside of me has not died, like it has for so many others. I still remember fondly and still am in touch with that inside me, just like Michael Jackson, he was the first R. Kelly. I don't know. But so many of you have just lost touch with that. And oh my goodness, this older man wants to have sex with this younger woman. Yo, Kels, keep your head up, man. I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but I'd like to see you come out in a press conference and say, I'm not troubled. I like things that you don't necessarily agree with. And yes, I like young girls, but I've never raped or kept anybody beyond their, that wasn't willing to participate in this involvement. Okay. I like the girls to come out, but so many people are motivated by money, or they got bad people in their ear. And, some people lie. I don't know if R. Kelly's being lied on or not. Like I said, I don't know him, but I understand. I understand why R. Kelly has an attraction for younger females. Ironically, and I dated a girl who has had sex with R. Kelly in the back of his school bus, in the back of his tour bus. And she never told me any details. She just told me that it happened. And she has a youthful look. Now, she's a very professional woman. I'm not going to put her out there like that. I'm just going to say she's like a doctor, lawyer. She has those type of credentials. She is a very accomplished woman. She has a very youthful look, though. She's very fine. I'm not going to say her name, but if you ever hear this, you know who you are. But anyway, that's my brief take on R. Kelly. There may be a part two if I think about this more concretely. But I don't think R. Kelly needs to be persecuted as much as he has, unless he is raping, he is holding people, doing things against their will. But if these girls were willing participants at the time, then I think we should ease up. He married Aaliyah because she wanted to get married. He didn't twist her arm. That's my understanding. Okay. And people give too much credit to the persuasiveness of an older, more experienced person. Yes, we can be more persuasive, but tell me what woman gives up the nookie freely, huh? So you got to persuade a 15-year-old as much as you do a 25-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 45-year-old, 55, 65. If you're happy enough, if you're still knocking boots at 75, you have to persuade. Y'all not giving up the body freely. Are you? No. Men pay for it regardless, with time and or money. Okay? I dare say females should be more liberal with the sexual activity. It'd be a much nicer planet. Much nicer. If we didn't have to beg and coerce and jump through hoops to get your special flower, right? Women want equality, right? You want equality? Be equal. Okay? Let's have sex. Stop holding out. Stop making us wait for 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, because it's so special. Oh, my flower. I cannot give you my flower unless you do this and say this or spend this amount of time or amount of money. You have to prove that you want it. Why? Why? There'd be a lot less rape, a lot less crime, a lot less evil on this planet if women gave sex more freely. Okay? And if R. Kelly had access to more women more freely, maybe he wouldn't be so focused on what he's doing. You ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about that? I doubt it. This is Mike's opinion. And, I really hope you listen. Whether you agree, don't care, or you disagree. I just hope you listen, and I hope maybe I've made you think about something that you've never thought about, or a perspective that you've never thought about. Because I don't think Kels deserves what he's getting. Does the things that he's given to our planet through his creativity matter at all? Does that weigh? Does that balance out the scales? Does that mean anything? How many people was like, I believe I can fly? Huh? How many people want to touch the sky with Kels? Huh? 12 play. I don't know about y'all, but it came up, I was in the era. 12 play has assisted me. And I'm not saying any of this because I'm a fan. Okay, I'm not really a fan dude, okay? I grew up in New York seeing and kicking it with the stars, and I have my fingers up, quote unquote, the famous. Okay, I'm talented just like anybody else is talented. You got your talent, I got mine. I've never been starstruck. So, I'm not really a fan. I've enjoyed some of his music, but 12 play, Sex Me, the song Sex Me. When I was single, had my little apartment, man, I threw on 12 play. I'm jumping through them hoops. But the clothes were coming off. So shout outs to Kels for that. But at what point does all he's contributed mean nothing? Because he wants to have sex with younger girls. He may have healed many of other younger girls. Many on this planet. He has made many of us feel wonderful through his creativity because he has the ability to make good music. And some may say, yeah, it's trash, not good music. I think it's good music. It's soulful, meaningful, but he's made and collaborated with some of the best that's out there. And does that not mean anything? That's all thrown away. There's no forgiveness. There's no mercy. There's no understanding, no compassion, no empathy these days, seemingly for anything or anybody. Yeah, I think it's absurd. It's absurd. So before you want to tie R. Kelly to a stake and stone him to death, they used to do that. They tie people up and let the whole village throw stones till the person was dead. It's history. It's fact. Or at least that's what they say. I wasn't there. But that's what we're doing. right? Theoretically, people are so passionate. I want to see him under the jail, so, the show that's out, Surviving, whatever it is, has brought new prosecutable endeavors. And, R. Kelly sat in a jail cell for a little while. Now he's out. Now there'll be another, spectacle, sensational trial. And we'll watch this as he sweats and loses sleep, all in the name of sex. Anybody that's seen that first R. Kelly video that was out, I heard people say, well, they can't release this one because it's child pornography. So was the first one, supposedly, right? And it was on the street. The bootleggers had it. Virtually everybody's seen it. And from my understanding, that showed an underage girl, him urinating on her and having sex with her. And my understanding is she didn't look like no rookie. Okay? Now, once again, I don't know how she got to that point. Was she a sexual prodigy? Was she being pimped out against her? I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is that, to my understanding, is that she didn't look like no rookie. Okay? She went home that night. Okay? Safe and sound. They had sex. Sexual activity. She went home. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't rape nobody. Nobody was harmed. Sex took place. That was it. So, judge, right? We all want to be judge, jury, executioner. I don't. That's why I'm sharing my opinion. Like I said, I've always thought differently. I'm Mike, and this is Mike's Opinion.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.